Good afternoon, students. My name is Dr. Morgan Phenix, and I'll be your instructor in this class in school leadership in diverse settings. It's a wonderful class. It's a unique class. It's also a class in which you can craft much of the course experience to suit your own professional and personal needs and interests. Okay, plus the Lord's call upon your life in the form of your final project, the direction you take in the course. This video today will just briefly cover some of the recurring assignments and some of the tips and reminders and pointers to maximize your success on the weekly assignments and to minimize any confusion on the assignment instructions. Okay, I encourage you to read the instructions very, very carefully, but I'm going to give you a couple of pointers here as well that will probably clear the way for you. Okay. Also, before I begin anything else, I would like to direct your attention to the announcements each week that include assignment instructions, but also include a devotional for the given week based on the foundational principles of the School of Education. I think you'll enjoy them, and I think it will lead us forward in good ways. Alrighty. Likewise, I would like you to do your introductory post in discussion board. In the first week of the class, you will have 2 posts in discussion board, one being the introduction of your own situation, who you are and where you come from, and maybe include a photo, that kind of thing, your interests and your goals in this course and in your studies. And then also there will be the regular first week's forum that you will be providing a post. And I do respond to all of the introductions as briefly, but I would like to also include hopefully some indication as to how you might use this course to serve your own purposes that you describe in your introduction. Alrighty, well, here we go. A couple of the recurring assignments. The discussion board, I'm sure you all have experience with that, but I would like to just be sure that you have the details that will get you full points. Okay, I do not just automatically grade at the highest level just for turning something in. Your discussion, and these videos are low tech. Okay, I'm going to show you here now. Here's the discussion board. The discussion board includes certain very, very important features. One is that the 300-word post must be in by Thursday. That's a School of Education requirement. And 2 responses to classmates by Sunday, 200 words each. Put a word counter on your computer, because if you come up short of the 200 words or the 300 words, you will lose credit for those entries. Quotes are not part of your word count, so long quotes from any source that you use there, and back to up to here to where it says reference. By reference, I mean please add something from the weekly reading in the text in the Ruby Payne or Lorraine Monroe text, or from some of the weekly presentations in Blackboard, and make sure you cite them. And you can do in-text citation only. You do not need to put the full APA citation there, because the familiar readings and the familiar texts are listed in your syllabus. So that's all there. You can put it in text in parenthetical, Payne 2013 or whatever edition you have. Okay, and your responses to classmates must be personal. You are responding to what that classmate has said. So begin with that person's name, refer to what they've said, and then you can agree, or you can like it, you can take issue with it, and just have a good personal discussion with that classmate for full points. Okay? Now, the journal article critique, it's a weekly recurring assignment for 50 points. It's worth twice as much as the discussion board is. I would like to give you very clear instructions as to what it is and what it's supposed to look like. Now, I am not a stickler for detail for the sake of detail. I do, however, require that you stick to the requirements here, so that your thought is clear and there's an economy of effort and a clarity of thought that flows from the top to the bottom of this page. The journal article critique is a 1-page assignment. There is no reference page. Okay, this is in the instructions there. Okay, there's no APA citation page. The APA citation goes at the top of the page of the 1-page document. Okay, and I'm going to also include a sample in the first week's announcement, so you can see exactly what it's supposed to look like. And what it's supposed to look like is a reflection of how the thought is supposed to flow from what the author citation here. Okay, and then you begin in your first sentence with the author's thesis. What has this scholarly research? What has the author said or believe, or the hypothesis that she or he has stated here? What is it? Put it in your own words. No quotes, no long quotes for sure. Alrighty, there's no need for it. Tell me that you know what the author is saying and why. Okay, in the first sentence, and then some supporting information and strategies from the journal article, not from your experience, from the journal article. You're critiquing this journal article, and more about the article itself in just a moment. Okay, and then your critique of it. How well was the study done? How useful is it? And what kind of strategies did you find in there? What kind of strategies that might be useful for you? And then you end with a conclusion, how this article relates to your work, your project, to your life, to the Lord's call upon your life, that kind of a thing. And use first person down here. I know the assignment instructions say use third person for academic writing, but for the purpose of this course and for this assignment, I would like to encourage you most strongly to use first person. I find this article very, very helpful for my final project. I'm going to use it for such and such, okay? And it's a one-page document, double spaced. Please do not go over the one page. If you go over a half a sentence or even a sentence or two, no points deducted. But the idea here is that you distill this author's work into a one-page reflection. Alrighty? Now, it must be a journal article that is peer-reviewed. If you don't know what that means, so go look it up. It means that it's a scholarly journal that a group of people clearly read and study what has been turned into them for publication and decide whether it's worthy. Okay? You are not to use newspaper articles, news reports, Education Week, just because it says education doesn't mean it's peer-reviewed. Okay, that's I think 37 editions each year. Education Week, sometimes people make that mistake, but certainly nothing like Time Magazine or Huffington Post or Sports Illustrated. I've seen it all, okay? But you are to use a peer-reviewed journal, and here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. On the upper right-hand corner of your Blackboard landing page there is what's called the library tab, the JFL Library, Jerry Falwell Library, a remarkable resource, and I want to encourage you most strongly. In fact, I'm going to give you some real encouragement here in the form of a little point addition to your outcomes. If you will, at least on the first week here, or the first couple weeks, use the JFL Library tab up in the right-hand corner. You can see there's take a screenshot of this, and this is low tech. I know it is, but you won't forget this. Go to get to be sure that you are using a peer-reviewed journal. Go to the JFL Library tab, click on it up there, and then there will be some choices there. There are some 6 little guide tabs if you want to look at those things to get some ideas how to use the library. You can do that, but you can go directly to the big Search Anything, the big blue tab in the middle of the page, I believe it is, right? Or over on the left a little bit. The big Search Anything blue tab, and then indicate what it is you're looking for. Okay, you'll type that in there. Let's say you're interested in English language learners and immigrant children in elementary school. So you can put that in there. Language instruction for immigrant children. That would be what it is you're looking for. Then filter it. It's articles, scholarly peer-reviewed, okay, online full PDF text, and the publication date. It's got to be 5 years, within 5 years. If you need to find something, go back a little bit further, something that's very, very important for you, just let me know. Shoot me an email. I will always give you permission to do that if I know that you know what you're doing and why you're doing that, okay? And then hit the search button. It's really, really simple. Alrighty? Now, what I want you to do is, for extra credit in this course, and I would say, I would be willing to go over the line a little bit here and say that, let's just say at the end of the course, you're swinging right between a B+ and an A-. I will remember, I will keep tabs on you if you will just reply to me in Blackboard directly underneath this video for this week. If you reply under here that you tried out that search process to find your journal article to critique in the first week here. And if you do it for a number of weeks, I would really appreciate that. Or you can send me an email, or you can even indicate it on your journal article critique submission. I searched this in the JFL Library tab, okay? And I include in the first week's announcement, or just under the first week's announcement, and I move it up each week to be right directly under that weekly announcement. I include a Falwell Library search description there. It's very, very simple to see. I think that's it for today. Okay, you got the Blackboard, or rather the discussion board, and the journal article critique as the recurring things. I would also like to encourage you to get an idea. Maybe if my response to your introductory post in discussion board will lead you towards something for your final project. If you could come up with your final project early in the course, and of course in week 3 you have to, if you've looked ahead on the assignments, in week 3 you will be giving me your proposal for your final project. But the earlier that you land upon what it is you want to use this course for, the better. And then you can choose journal articles that will serve that, and your critiques will basically be chapters in your final project. Okay, and you can discuss it on discussion board, and you'll have a better time with all of that. Okay, so I hope you have all that. Now listen, finally, before we go, I would like to remind you about something about diversity. And of course, if you look at this screen carefully here, what's wrong with this picture? There are so many things about diversity in this nation of ours, and in this troubled world that we live in, and people are attaching labels to other groups of folks based on diversity, on differences. Okay, diversity is not a problem that needs fixing. Okay, there's no problem. Diversity does not define a problem that needs fixing. Diversity is a fact of life, and it is a majority fact of life. It is not about minority pocket issues. Okay, that this very small group of people over here, put them all together, it's the majority. It's a majority concern now. We have to be ready for this. Okay, diversity is not a problem. It's something that has to do with honor and with understanding and with celebration even. And I hope you can figure out a way to approach diversity in that way. And that's going to be it for today. I hope you use this course to your own best interest. I hope you enjoy it, and along the way, there's a personal side to everything. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon, but it's about 35 to 40 degrees out there in Virginia. And yesterday evening, we did an amateur radio communications service project with one of these ultra races, a 100-mile race through the mountains, and overnight. It's crazy, a 24-hour race. And it snowed last night. Okay, it was raining and it was cold, and it got down to 40 degrees down here. But up in the higher elevations, it was colder than that. It was freezing rain. It wasn't really snow, but it was freezing rain coming down, and it was awful. And this is I'm making this on May 15th, so that's the state of affairs. I make these videos every week, fresh. They'll be full of all kinds of small mistakes, and I'm not terribly photogenic. I also include some of our household personalities here. Here's Gracie, who's a special needs dog that loves to sit here when I make the video. It's a weekly thing we do together, and I'll leave it at that. So once again, let me know that you searched the JFL Library tab and searched for your journal article to critique in week 1 here, and I will add to your grade at the end if you need it, because I will remember, and I will have a little listing here, and I'll be checking it over from time to time over the first 2 or 3 weeks that you have used this resource at this great university. Okay, to choose the right articles. If you happen to turn in a journal article critique on a New York Times news article, you will receive a 0 on the assignment. So there's a great opportunity here to do the absolute correct thing and to gain some knowledge and some practical research knowledge along the way. Alrighty. Once again, let's start the week with the devotional, and take a look at that in the announcement for week 1. And make sure you be viewing these videos. There will be a fresh video each week for this class, for this grouping at this time. I don't have these in a file somewhere. Make them every week, so that I know that you know what is required for the coming week, and that you're not confused about it. If you have any questions, there's a tab also in discussion board. Ask Dr. Phenix if you have a question about assignments that would be worthwhile for everyone to hear my response. Otherwise, send me an email, and I'll respond to you. And if it is a question that is worthy or that for equity's sake everyone should have, I'll send it out to everybody without your name, of course, and I'll reflect it back to everybody so that everyone has the same information. I wish you well in this. Generally speaking, the success rate in this class is very, very high. I like to respond a lot to your work, so be checking my comments along the way as well. Alrighty, God bless you all. I think that's it. Make this class your own. It's your history, it's your story, it's your journey. Okay, I'm glad to be going along with you a little bit here. We have only 8 weeks together, so let's make it count. Remember, all of these videos have to do with clarity of thought and economy of effort. clarity of thought, the flow of the thought through a one-page document in the journal article critique, right? The personalization of your discussion board replies. Start with your classmate's name, okay, and end your journal article critique with, I found this article useful because it told me, or because it helped me with such and such, or I didn't find it useful. I don't think that they did, and here's what I needed instead. Make it personal. Alrighty. God bless you all, and we'll see you next time. I hope it goes well. Let's pray that it does. See you next time, Lord willing. Bye bye.